What's up guys, Kurt Jansen from Third Island Productions here. Hope y'all are doing amazing. Today we're going to do a short video, we're just going to go over how to mix overheads. And we're going to be doing two different genres. We're going to do rock and we're going to do reggae. Both genres require a different amount of overheads. An example, rock definitely leans more towards more overheads in the mix, and reggae not as much. And the reason for this is because reggae has a super tight drum sound with next to none room coloration, and rock music uses a lot of room coloration. That's why I thought it would be cool to compare and contrast the two. So let's jump into it. The first song that we're going to be working on is a song that I produced and mixed for my buddy Brandon. The artist's name, he knows his music, and this one is called Dirt on a Seed. Let's take a listen to it with the overheads, and we're going to take a listen to it without, so you guys can hear what I'm talking about on why you need overheads. Alright, here's without overheads. Without. That is a super perfect example of why overheads are so crucial in rock music. I mean, and honestly, any genre that has drums, it paints the full picture of the drum set. In this case right here, as you guys can see, we actually have, for the way that this kit was mic'd, it has overheads and it has mics for the cymbals, which is kind of crazy, but whoever mic'd them did a great job because there's no phasing. So I'm gonna just take away all the processing I did for the overheads and we'll restart and remix the overheads to this track. Okay, so I was sent these tracks as regular mono track. They didn't record the overheads as a stereo track, so I'm sending the overheads right here to a bus. And then the cymbals, I'm sending these two cymbals to a bus as well, so I don't have to mix the individual ones and then copy and paste. It's just easier to mix on a bus. So here's the first thing I'm going to do. I'm going to add my Lindell 80 channel. You guys already know, love this thing on drums. So let's dial this bad boy in. So I just boosted a little bit at 10K, about 3 dB, and then boosted almost 2.5 dB of 4.8. And I actually boosted a little bit of 60 to give some more body in the overall picture of the drums. And I gave it a little bit of gain, high passed at 45, and I did some compression, roughly -3 dB, and then added some makeup gain. I'm going to bypass and unbypass the overhead so you guys can hear the difference. It just really brings the drums together and makes them sound wide. It brings more clarity. It brings a little bit more body. It just helps to bring the drums to life. Let's mess with the cymbal bus and see what we can do there as well. Might not need to do too much because we kind of handled everything on the overhead end. Let's listen to how the cymbal bus sounds on its own. There was a little bit of a buzzy noise. I just high passed this at 360, and it's doing a good amount of gain reduction on the compressor because the overheads are already handling a lot of the cymbals. But here's how it sounds with and without the cymbal mics. Here's without. Here's with. Here's without. Here's with. Here's without. Here's with. That's pretty solid to me. Cutting out all the low end from the cymbal bus and just having a little bit more top end shine on the overall drum kit with the cymbals, I think adds character to this drum recording. So that's it for rock drums. I think that's solid. Let's move on to reggae. This one is called Feel the Light by One Culture. This is actually my band, and I produced this whole track and recorded every instrument and mixed it. So again, in reggae, overheads are lightly used. I use them because I like to get a good picture of the kit. You can get away with just getting the mic bleed from the cymbals on like the snares and the toms and everything. I like to have the control. So let's see how this sounds. I'm going to show you guys what it sounds like with the cymbals and without. Okay, let's listen to that again without the overheads. So yeah, you can hear the cymbals came through still. You know, I could totally get away with not using cymbals at all, because the bleed into the snare mic and everything else, it's clear. But when you add the overheads, again, just like the rock drums, you hear a little bit more of the drum picture and the cymbals are nice and clear. Here's without. And here's with. So let's dial in these overheads from scratch. Here we go. A little bit of gain. High pass at 45. Just a little bit of bottom end. Okay, let's listen to that again. I'm going to bypass and I'm going to turn on the channel strip so you guys can hear the difference. So as you guys can see, I have two overhead tracks right here. That's because I overdubbed a few sections because I'm not the best drummer on earth. I overdubbed some fills, but I recorded probably like 16 bars of a main groove and then copy and pasted because I'm not a great drummer, but this is the best way for me to do it. Here's with. pass off again. And coming over here, they're on. So bring it down a little bit. Here's off. And here's on. That's on. Both of these are on. Here's off. Yeah, turned on. Yeah, it just gives more character to your overall drums. I mean, that is the simplest way to put mixing overheads, is it paints the full picture of the drums, but you don't want to overdo it because you don't want it to be too roomy and you don't want it to over color your drums. You want to be able to hear the transients of the individual drums as well. So I think that's a solid wrap on this tutorial. I hope it helped. So thank you guys so much for sticking around. Once again, if you guys don't mind, please hit the subscribe, hit the bell, all that good stuff. Really helps the channel out. We just hit 1,000 subscribers. Super pumped on that. Got more videos coming up for y'all. So once again, thank you guys very much, and we'll see you on the next one. Peace out.